On this day in Seventh Day Adventist history, January 7, 1922, the Fourth Adventist Church built in Battle Creek became known as the Dime Tabernacle because the church members and the community were invited to give one dime a month in support of this building project. The idea was suggested by James Ellen White's second son, James Edson White. And since it was a church used by the denomination for gatherings and general meetings, members were encouraged to save that dime a month for a year to contribute to the project. At this time, there were about 15,000 members worldwide, and many sent in their dimes to help. It was at the General Conference in March of 1878 that a vote was taken to build a larger church because the increases of numbers being seen from the Sanitarium and the Review and Herald. The foundation stones were laid August 19, 1878, and construction was completed the next year at a final cost of $26,275. And that was with all the furnishings, according to John Loughborough. Now, the Dime Tabernacle was a brick-faced building, 105 feet by 130 feet. It had a 108-foot clock tower that was donated by members of the community. The main auditorium could seat 900 persons, and the gallery another 1,450, with wall seats and extra chairs. There were 6 large Sabbath school rooms and an office surrounding the auditorium. By raising the glass partitions in these rooms, at the back of the auditorium, another 850 seats could be added to the north, east, and south vestibules. This would give the entire building a seating capacity of 3,200 people. It was dedicated on April 20, 1879. At the dedication services, by seating people on the steps and adding extra seats, there were 3,649 people in attendance by actual count. 4 entrances provided access for entrance and exit. The auditorium pews were heavily padded with movable benches and chairs in the rooms in the rear. 2 grand staircases led to the gallery area. Overhead there was a large dome of richly colored glass of beautiful design, and behind the pulpit was 3 stained glass windows that portrayed the 10 Commandments. A baptismal pool was under the platform in front of the choir space. The church was considered to be a fitting climax to the career of James White. He accepted the General Conference presidency for the last time that year and died in 1881. Records in 1898 show a church membership of 1,400, with another 288 who had yet to transfer their memberships from their home churches. There was a Sabbath school membership of 1,133, with 173 classes listed. The tabernacle continued to serve as a major meeting place for large gatherings of Seventh Day Adventists. It was also used by the community for major large meetings. Evangelists Moody and Shankly spoke here, along with many other well-known names. The funerals of both James and Ellen White were conducted in this church. Also, several General Conference sessions were held in the tabernacle. The fires of the Battle Creek Sanitarium in February 18, 1902, and the Review and Herald, December 30, 1902, along with consistent counsel from Ellen White, finally caused Adventists to begin to decentralize. The educational work had already moved its center to Berrien Springs, Michigan, prior to the fires. Many saw the fires as divine judgments from God. Quit congregating in Battle Creek. The Dime Tabernacle continued to be our most prominent church and was used extensively for many years until it too was destroyed by fire on January 7, 1922. It was a Saturday evening. Vespers was over, and the people had gone to their homes when word spread around town that the Dime Tabernacle was on fire. By the time it was discovered, it was too late to save the building. Back then, they did not put fire stops into a building. The updrafts in the open spaces between the studs inside the brick veneer formed ventilating chimneys on all sides. The fire would not stop until all the fuel was gone, and that fuel was the Dime Tabernacle. The value of the building was estimated to be $85,000, but there was only $20,000 in insurance, hardly enough even to replace the equipment for the Michigan camp meeting that had been stored in the basement of the building. 2 days later, the local newspaper says it was announced that a new tabernacle would be built. On this date, January 7, 1922, the Dime Tabernacle in Battle Creek, Michigan burns to the ground.